Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the London Monarchs and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the London Monarchs and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they enter play here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Londoners, they get a start. So it's third down, ball inside the red zone, and this defense looking to get the stop they need. They'll try and run forward with Smith, and he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
A first down carry for Smith, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now it's Jackson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the first quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially with those teams that want to take their D ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop, able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them.
The Niners on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. We're back to Santa Clara after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. From the gun, Mayfield throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him.
Second quarter, this defense looking for a big 3rd down stop here. They're already down on the scoreboard, just trying to get the ball back to their offense.
Set! 3-19!
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jamal Adams. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
Yeah, and it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
So here's the situation upcoming. Second quarter, 3rd down, and this defense just trying to force the field goal attempt.
All right, here we go. Green 39!
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Perry. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down, and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Face mask. Defense.
Official soak. Let's jump back into the action with this defense up against a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Detroit! Detroit!
After the penalty, it's Smith. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go! Green, 39!
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Niners on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Here we go now. Green, 39! Green, 39!
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Will Fuller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
It feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason...
Coming up here, this defense looking for a 3rd down stop in the second quarter. To throw, it's Rodgers. Going deep downfield for Roll. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the... So a big 3rd down coming up here for the defense, trying to preserve a very slim lead in the 3rd quarter.
Hey, check 26! Hey, check 26!
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be that time. Time to jump back in. Opening drive, 3rd quarter. And this offense has it in the red zone, 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. J.J. Watt in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Jabal Sheard in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? Keeping this offense out of the end zone has to be considered a must here, as this defense can ill afford to go 2 scores down here in the second half.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Set. Green, 39.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. And his throw is incomplete. The safety, Jamal Adams, able to break that one up.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Now let's go. 3-19.
On 3rd down, Smith. A nice little juke. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
That's it, baby. That's it. Big hit.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Gold is able to put it through, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because
point, this offense has made its way into the red zone as they're set up with a 1st and 10 just inside the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one down to the 10. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They run once more with McKinnon. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Jerick McKinnon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys are just an extra point away now from taking the lead in this game. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side. The key coming up here, preserve the lead for this defense. 4th quarter, close game. 3rd down, here we go.
Here we go now. Blue landed. Blue.
Mayfield with it once more. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package, just as you described the coverage.
Now this defense here really needs to hold them to a field goal late, or maybe could they force a turnover and allow no points? Time to see.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Here we go now. Blue
They keep it with Smith on 1st down. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. On 2nd down, here's Smith. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Here's a give to Smith. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Gold is able to put it through. And that will push the lead up to 5. So yet another field goal to end the drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often.
Getting late here in the 4th quarter, the offense, they need to find the end zone. A touchdown does them no good, and just one timeout left in their back pocket. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. 23 yards on the play. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. And they'll spike it here at 27 seconds.
Let's go, come on.
Back to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom.
Back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
26. Cut. Zoom, zoom. Jump out. Jump out.
They'll look to throw. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. He's back to throw. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. And a great game comes down to this. Time for one play, and they've got to get it in the end zone.
And I want every cover guy I've got in the game on defense, every extra defensive back who can make a play on the football. So whether it's nickel, dime, quarter, whatever you want to call it, I want 5, 6, 7 guys back there.
58!
One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And it's incomplete. Rodgers has done it before, but he won't get the connection here, and the ball game is over. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So for the 49ers, the win gets them to 5-9 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Arizona Cardinals next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.